organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up tonight on Daily Iowan TV, the new UI president will be welcomed with a new home, while students struggle to find permanent housing.
And 2 UI students are making their mark with a creative small business.
Iowa football ticket sales have been down since the spring.
Find out where those numbers stand coming up in sports.
We're bringing you all that and more.
This is Daily Iowan TV.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Jeremy Meyer.
And I'm Megan Sanchez.
The University of Iowa will welcome a new UI president Thursday. On September 3rd, the Board of Regents will meet at 8 a.m. to interview the 4 finalists and select the new president.
The UI chapter of the American Association of University Professors created a survey for UI faculty, students, and community members to express their thoughts on the UI presidential finalists. With just 1 day until the final decision is made, the results of that survey are in. Leading the survey is Ohio State Provost Joseph Steinmetz. 96.4% of surveyors believe he is the most qualified. Following Steinmetz is Marvin Krislov with 81.8% and Michael Bernstein with 76.2%. Lastly, Bruce Harold has only 2.6% of surveyors believing he is qualified.
The University of Iowa new president will not only have a new job, but also a freshly renovated home and office. The mansion, which was completed in 1908, is in need of maintenance work that will cost around $1.5 million. The president's office in Jessup Hall will also receive an upgrade worth $500,000. Neither space will be ready by the time the UI president comes into office, but the university will provide temporary accommodations.
We take the opportunity, the few opportunities we have between presidents to do work we need to do to make sure buildings like 102 Church Street are kept in good operating condition for future years, future generations.
As the University of Iowa continues to gain students each year, housing space has become limited. Daily Iowan TV's Austin Love has the story.
It's no secret the University of Iowa is trying to expand. This year there are 500 more students on campus than last year. And with the brand new Peterson dormitory, there are a few issues with housing. This year,
Quad will be closing at the end of this year in order to make way for the new pharmacy building.
there are 364 students living here in Quadrangle Hall, while in the summer, Quad's being torn down, leaving the university a tough task of finding out where next year's freshmen are going to live.
Right now, if we're for those 360 students, obviously we won't have a new building to own or to put them in.
There are plans for a new $80 million dorm to be built on the west side of campus, but that's years away from being completed. So what's the plan for now?
On or off campus in some type of leasing arrangement, create more space in the residence halls by tripling doubles and things like that. And the third option is to be able to reduce the number of returning students who would come back to campus for the fall of 2016.
All of which aren't very appealing to the university or students.
The dorm life is kind of like part of the whole freshman experience. So if people don't get that, I think that'd be kind of sad.
I agree completely. I think that it is our mission to house the first year class. And I think that is whether it's a rite of passage or just students understand that they're going to get more value out of living in the residence halls. But our first year class is our mission. That is our goal, to be able to house all first year students who want to live on campus.
In Iowa City, Austin Love, Daily Iowan TV.
Well, Megan, it's been really hot and humid on campus the last couple of days.
I know my walks to class have not been easy. Let's toss it over to Peter Kim in the weather studio to see if this heat is going to continue. Peter?
Thank you, Megan and Jeremy. It looks like the heat is going to stick around a couple more days. Tomorrow we will start off the days in the lower 70s, and then the temperature will increase to mid-80s in the afternoon. Towards the evening, the temperature will drop back down to the upper 70s. Moving on to extended forecast, Friday we will have a perfect weather in the high of 92 and the low of 69. The perfect weather will continue on to Saturday, and we will have a great day for the first football game of the season. Unfortunately, on Sunday, there is a 60% chance of thunderstorm, and then starting of next week, the temperature will start to cool down. That's all I have for you in the weather studio. Back to you at the desk.
2 UI students are making their mark with an artistic small business. Daily Iowan TV's Katie Sextro has the details.
Imagine being a full-time student, working a part-time job, and running your own business. Sounds almost impossible, right? Well, not for two 20-year-old girls who balance school, waitressing, and recently starting their own business. Bree Degala and Carly Frayne have been friends since they were little and have always loved creating works of art. And after posting some of their things to Facebook and receiving requests for more, they decided it was time to take their creative talents to the next level. The girls started taking their products to the Cedar Rapids Farmers Market this summer, where they had a cute little stand called the Purple Wagon.
It comes with us to every single market. I figured that it'd be a good name because we keep it, and it kind of made everything possible for us when we were kids, like even just taking our little Polly Pockets from one house to the other house and stuff like that. So we carried it along with us, and that's kind of how we got the name.
And from the looks of it, the Purple Wagon is becoming pretty popular. The Purple Wagon has everything from painted canvases, reclaimed wood signs, handmade headbands, baby blankets, restored antique chairs, coffee mugs, mason jars, teacups, and more.
All of our items are actually like restored or reclaimed. Like we go to the Restore Habitat for Humanity like all the time, every week, like constantly getting new merchandise, new things to paint on, just anything that catches our eye really.
But creating everything is the fun part. The business side gets a little more complicated.
But we do have to constantly be talking about what orders next, what market's next, what we need to be delivering, what we need to be shipping out for all of our custom orders and stuff like that. So
it's just kind of like a big project for us pretty much. I just feel like we didn't really know what we were getting into, but it's like, it's great just doing everything. Just making people's day is pretty much our point.
Reporting from the Cedar Rapids Farmers Market, Katie Sextro, Daily Iowan TV.
The girls are working on setting up a website to access their items easier, but for now you can check them out on their Facebook page, The Purple Wagon.
2016 presidential candidate Hillary Clinton has announced that she will be in the Quad Cities for Labor Day. The Democratic presidential hopeful plans to stop at union events in the eastern part of Iowa, as well as the Quad Cities Federation of Labor's annual picnic. Clinton's plan to celebrate with the working families during her visit. Democratic candidates Bernie Sanders and Martin O'Malley will also be in Iowa within the next week. The Daily Iowan will bring you all the updates on their travels.
President Barack Obama's Iran nuclear deal is making its way through Congress. Democratic Senator Barbara Mikulski of Maryland announced her support for the deal, preventing Republican congressmen from vetoing the bill. This deal aims to stop Iran from possessing nuclear weapons, but has received a lot of criticism from Congress regarding national security. Congress will vote on the Iran deal later this month.
Well, for McDonald's breakfast lovers, you won't have to hit the drive-thru before 10:30 for much longer. McDonald's has announced that they will be serving all-day breakfast nationally beginning on October 6th. After multiple requests from customers for an all-day breakfast menu, McDonald's began testing the strategy at many locations and found big success. Popular breakfast items such as the Egg McMuffin will now be available to consume all hours of the day.
Well, Jeremy, for anybody who knows me, they know that I love McDonald's, so I'm pretty excited about this.
Almost the same excitement for Iowa Hawkeye fans getting ready for a football Saturday. Let's toss it over to the sports desk, see what's happening. Hannah and Taylor, what's going on?
Thanks, guys. And Taylor, it has been a hot week here in Iowa City, but an even hotter week in Iowa athletics.
And we start with a team that has gone on an undefeated trek, and they continued that theme on Tuesday night.
The Iowa women's soccer team battled under the lights against in-state opponent, the University of Northern Iowa Panthers, and it was said to be a tough-fought battle as regulation was not enough to call it quits.
The Hawkeyes came right out on the start of the game with the quick feet and quick mind. Both teams battled back and forth in the first minutes, but one Hawkeye went down early.
That's right, Taylor. Junior Corey Burns suffered an injury, but that didn't stop Iowa from pushing forward.
It was Bree Telly who put the Hawks on board first when she did it all by herself, dribbling around UNI players before nailing the ball into the top right corner of UNI's goal.
And the Hawks did not stop dominating in the first half. even though going into halftime it was still 1-0.
With the Hawks on top, UNI needed a sense of urgency if they wanted to beat Iowa for the first time.
But UNI's goalie Whitney Blunt was quick on her hands and feet as she was letting nothing get by her in the net.
The momentum seemed to be shifting to UNI as Hannah McDivitt scored in the 72nd minute of the game, tying it up 1-1.
And that was the close of regulation, and into overtime they went.
It didn't take long for either team to get the pace going as they went into overtime, and the ball landed in Iowa's favor as a shot was blocked by Jenna Kington, and the rebound came from Carly Stunkel, who found her way to the goal, keeping Iowa undefeated on the season.
My calves cramped up, so I had to celebrate on the ground. I think we've been connecting and we're starting to play a lot more consistent, so that's good going into conference because our schedule for conference is going to be difficult this year.
It was going to be a tight game no matter how we played. 3 years in a row going to overtime with them. Same thing happened last year.
We will see if they can continue that undefeated trek as they go on their first road trip to Missoula, Montana on September 4th.
Absolutely, and it's really exciting for Coach Dave Diani and the team to be starting out the season on such a good note. But on a different bad note here in Iowa City, ticket sales have been down for Iowa football and they have not made any progress.
Not at all. It has been released that for the first home game on September 5th, it will have its smallest crowd in 12 years.
There's been talk that ever since ticket sales happened in the spring that the number would be lower this year, and that's definitely not something Iowa football wants to see.
That is definitely true, especially for head coach Kirk Ferentz. And courtesy of the Des Moines Register, it was said that Rick Klatt, the UI's Associate Athletic Director of External Affairs, said that 57,600 tickets had been sold as of Tuesday.
Absolutely, and that hasn't happened since September 6th of 2003 when Iowa played Buffalo and beat them 56-7. The season opener last year had a fan base of almost 67,000 people.
We still have a couple days until game time, so hopefully they can get a couple more tickets sold for that game on Saturday.
Hopefully, I think we really need to all get out there and support our Hawks. But on a lighter note, we have football reporter Laura Belanda standing by who has word on a team that's extra special. Laura?
I'm finally wrapping up position previews with sometimes the most important group, special teams. A couple returning faces will be making up this squad. Check it out.
His point after touchdown percentage is 100%. He ranked 7th in field goal percentage at 75%, and his average kickoff length is 59.5 yards. His name is Marshall Kane, and he's your returning starting place kicker. And he knows that consistency is key.
Just working on my ball flight and being someone that coach can count on. Just trying to ensure that he has faith in me to send me out there and make a kick. So I'm just trying to show him that I become more consistent.
Kane was also in the running to be this year's punter.
Marshall's right, every bit as good as Dylan right now, punting the football. But again, we'll look at let the test of time determine that.
And with time, it's been decided that number 16, Dylan Kidd, will in fact take the punting position as well as the placeholder. Now, he racked up 46 punts last year and averaged 38.5 yards. And on the other end of special teams, the kick returners.
Desmond King will be the lead guy, and then Riley McCarron will be the number 2 guy.
And like most positions on this Iowa team, they've got a few backup.
Jonathan Parker, Tavon, and Jordan Canzeri, those 3 guys on kick return as well.
Special teams oftentimes wins games with last-minute field goals, insane punt returns, or can be the answer to your overtime prayers. The experience behind Kane and the rest of the crew seems promising, but we'll see on game day. Guys, back to you.
Obviously, there's a ton going into the game on Saturday. A lot of things that we don't know, but luckily we will be there for full coverage.
Our pregame show is back on the Thursday edition of Daily Iowan TV, and we'll talk all football and what you can expect come game time. Guys, back to you at the desk.
Before we leave you tonight, we want you to check out this video. The human trampoline is fitness trainer Anthony Lugo, who's going viral online after his extreme jumping displays. Check it out, the 5'10" trainer jumping over cars and fitness partners. I don't know about you, Megan, but sign him up for the NBA Slam Dunk Contest.
It's extremely impressive, Jeremy. I'm anxious to see what he'll do next.
Well, that's all the time we have for you on Daily Iowan TV tonight.
Be sure to tune in every night for your latest news, weather, and Hawkeye sports.
Thanks for joining us.
Go Hawks, and good night.